I'm Jumbo. This is Ruth Kamau, and welcome to Wasafiri Africa, where we celebrate Africa and things African. Twendeni, Africa is ready. ¿Cómo estás, Geovany?
Estou bem, e tu como estás?
Estou bem, graças a Deus. Boa tarde.
Boa tarde.
Well, can you believe it? Here we are, 3 months into Wasafiri Africa.
It has been quite a journey, remarkable journey.
Oh my goodness. I think that the last time you and I recorded, we were a month old and December looked so far away. And you're in Luanda and I'm in Nairobi, and we're catching up on just a little bit of a recap on what's been going on.
Yes. And you're mentioning that your neighbor got a rooster as well.
Yeah, believe it. I was saying to you that my neighbor's got a rooster because when I speak to you on the phone, I hear the rooster. I think it's your neighbor's rooster or it's your rooster. And I named him Nelson. How is Nelson doing?
Oh, we ate Nelson.
You ate Nelson?
And Nelson is gone.
Oh, God. You see, this is the problem of naming animals. You mustn't name animals that you're going to eat. Oh, my gosh. Why did you eat Nelson?
It was getting quite old. Nelson was quite old.
Yo, that must have been tough meat then. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, and Nelson ended the way of the chickens, the way chickens go. So, okay, moving along. So, Geovany, it's amazing that we can get to talk about Wasafiri Africa and that it's a reality, and 14 episodes later, we're still so excited and optimistic about the future. And I was just thinking when we were chatting earlier that great things have been happening in south of the equator this last half of the year, right?
Yes, because it's sort of where maybe some of the ideas came in mind while you were in Kenya or Australia, but it's the place where you started the recordings. So it's special to see the South, because we usually see a lot of events on the northern side of the continent or the west side or east side. And because of the difference in language, we don't see as much of a community or unity between the countries on the region. And it was remarkable to see different events and different people coming together.
Yeah, when I think about it, there I was in Cape Town and you were in Luanda, and Wasafiri Africa, became a reality in our minds. It's really taking on this footprint of being a project that takes us where we want to be on the continent. And it's amazing to me to think that Wasafiri happened in the same half of the year that the G20 happened in South Africa.
100%, and more so because of the core theme of the podcast, which is bringing the unity and celebrating Africa. And
yeah,
I believe that Ramaphosa's move was a celebration of that, bringing other countries, inviting the president of Namibia, the president of Angola. It was quite remarkable to see that happening.
Exactly. It's the whole thing that we talk about in the very first episode of Wasafiri Africa, how it's important for torchbearers to go back to the cave, in quotes, as a metaphor, to let everybody else see the light, so to speak. And I think it was really amazing that, as you just said, that President Ramaphosa took that opportunity to broaden the exposure for African countries. Other countries on the continent can participate.
Yes, and right after the G20, because it was a 2-day, then we had a 2-day again. It was Monday and Tuesday in Angola. The EU, European Union, and AU African Union Summit in Luanda. Also was remarkable, again, seeing a lot of the delegates and presidents from neighboring countries coming in Luanda, and seeing that again, that the southern part gaining this expression and showing that we can come together and we can do great things.
When you think about the African Union being headquartered in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, which is the eastern part of the continent, and then, having this seminal meeting in the southern part of Africa, this is what Wasafiri Africa is excited about. It's about creating that crisscrossing across the continent so that we all become one thing, in the sense of thinking alike and moving in the same direction. We'll obviously celebrate our individual idiosyncrasies as a nation, as people, because the diversity is just so amazing and beautiful, and it's one of the core richness of the continent. But it's also good to see how these seminal conferences can keep traveling across the continent.
Speaking about diversity, how diverse the podcast has been, because we've got 14 episodes, and just starting me and you, we both in different parts of the continent. Even when you were in Cape Town, I was in Luanda. Now you're in Kenya. I'm in Luanda, and if I'm in a different place, I know that we will continue to do that. But so more thinking about the guests that out of the 14 guests, we had different countries. I'm in love with Ethiopia because I love Ethiopian food. Luckily, we interviewed the owner of the restaurant, lovely, amazing person. We've had Ivory Coast that I don't think that is as much a promotion in Ivory Coast, but when you see the culture of entrepreneurship and the amazing architecture and work that they're doing when it comes to housing and projects or the building industry, it's just amazing to see that we're bringing all these stories and allowing people to gain insights on what is happening in the continent. We've done South Africa, we've done Ethiopia, we've done Kenya, which is your country, and I often tell you that maybe we need to build headquarters and then I'll go sit in Kenya. It's an amazing country. And when I say amazing, not just because I hear it, because my mother used to travel a lot to Kenya. And the first gifts that I remember that she brought me from African countries were three actually. One from Tanzania, another one was an elephant from Tanzania, and then another sculpture that she gave me used to stay in my room, and then another one from Kenya and another one from Ethiopia. I don't know if I ever told you that story, that I actually had a few souvenirs or a few things from Kenya that my mother used to bring.
No, you've never actually said anything about that, and that's really such a heartwarming story. That is wonderful.
Yeah, and the connection goes in that, in the stories that she would tell me about the food and the people that she was meeting, going on a taxi. I think they call it taki on Uganda. I know they call it taki or something in Uganda, in Kampala. And she telling me, the stories of how amazing it was as well. And Kenya as well. It is amazing to see that after many years, now we're doing interviews and I'm meeting true people, a lot of the stories and amazing things about these countries.
I'm so grateful for every guest that has trusted us with their wonderful stories, because we're learning so much from their vision, from their dreams, from their persistence, from their resilience. Their success is so empowering. And as you mentioned, we've been to 8 countries through conversations. We've been to Ghana, and we've been to Republic of Congo. We've been to Uganda. I think the second episode, we were in Luanda, so we've been to Angola as well.
Best country in Africa, Angola.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that. You are Angolan. We're not going to argue about that. It's been fantastic to have everybody from the different countries, because Wasafiri Africa is about having conversations that take us on safaris to the different places on the continent. If you think about South Africa, we've spoken to several people from South Africa, but they're from different parts of South Africa. And so there's always this geo intro aspect that we have with Wasafiri Africa that gives you a pin location of where our guest is coming from. And it gives you an interesting fact about what's happened in that particular geolocation, whether it's a historical fact or whether it's something that's happening currently. So that's part of the backbone of Wasafiri Africa. And then we have the guest intro, which gives you the information about the guest. And so you get to hear about the person that will be giving us their story on Wasafiri Africa, the kaleidoscope of people that we have spoken to and continue to speak to. You kind of have to look at the bones of Wasafiri Africa because, as you said, you're from Angola. Shen, our wonderful editor, ShenFM, is South African. I'm Kenyan. And the three of us, and of course, my daughter does the thumbnails. And so the four of us are the core team of Wasafiri Africa.
That is what I want to ask you, Tata. If you can share a bit about the future of the podcast. What in your views do you want to see coming from the Wasafiri Africa, and where do you see it going?
Wasafiri Africa is bigger than us, Geovany. You know how we always say Wasafiri Africa is bigger than us? It's because for me, I know that it's almost like an embryo. It's an embryonic stage right now. And the vision is that beyond just going live, having interactions with people and like having a panel and speaking and having amazing conversations, we want it to, as you say, create a thirst for this continent where people know that there's a positive narrative happening. We are part of everyone who is online or, telling positive stories about the continent. We're not unique in that way. We want to contribute to that conversation. We are part of all the people who wake up every morning excited to be on the continent, excited to be Africans, or even connected in the diaspora who want this continent to prosper and refuse to buy into the narrative that it's a basket case. That's who we are. And where that will take us is an amazing place in the future where travel will be part of what we do, not just in safari conversations, but actual safaris. And this will come as we continue to grow. As I say, now we're in the embryonic stage, and it's really exciting to have a vision that we are willing to hold and to nurture and go the distance for.
So for everyone that has been with us, really thank you. Wasafiri is for the traveler, and we're traveling, and we want to thank everyone that has been traveling with us through the continent and all the stories that we've been bringing to the podcast. Thanking not just the technical team, thanking you, Tata, for allowing us to have that, because you need to almost be immersive and experience what the other person is experienced to be able to give us the great stories that we keep getting from the Wasafiri, from the podcast, and thanking the people as well that have been traveling with us since the first episode, and through our journey will continue to be with us. Really appreciate it, and thank you very much.
100%. Thank you, everyone. This is what we had to say before anything else. We say thank you so much for being so supportive of us and liking, sharing, becoming our guests, recommending people to us. And as we have done 14 episodes now, and we think it's a good time to give everybody a time to catch up, because some people are saying, my goodness, we didn't know that you had published quite a few episodes. And so we thought, you know what, it's the festive season and people normally take time off to just chillax, and it's a good time to listen to the podcast. So we are also taking a hiatus, and we'll be back on the 20th of January with a fresh publication. And in the meantime, we hope that everybody gets a chance to catch up with the different episodes that we have had. And we want to wish everybody a safe and happy holiday season. Whatever you celebrate, all the best. And remember, the continent is such a magnificent place to holiday. There's so many places to go to on this continent. So Twendeni, Africa is ready.